Hi, good evening. We are live here on Facebook at thespartanpoker.com. My name is Peter Abraham. We are doing a special event today, which is the coverage of the Destiny Finale SNG, where we have 10 winners from the past 10 weeks who have got together and they will be playing this one final sit and go tournament, and the winner will receive a package worth 10 lakh rupees, which will get them to go to Vegas to play in the biggest tournament in the world. With me, because he is the expert on the subject, is Spartan Poker Pro Sangeeth Mohan, also known as Samoh by a lot of you out there. So Samoh, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hey everyone, we are again live on the Spartan Poker page, and we are here for the Destiny Finale Sit and Go. 10 of the best players in the country, probably, Peter?
Best! Let's say that they had their chance at getting lucky a few times. I saw some of those Destiny tournaments. But there is a fair bit of talent that is playing in this tournament right now. They're all seated at the table, as we can see. We are about 2 minutes away from the start of this particular sit and go.
Yes.
And I think there's a lot of excitement considering what's at stake.
Of course. And we have our guests with us today as well.
Yes, we have a bunch of guests who we will bring in from time to time. And they will also tell you a lot more things, well, more than me, as far as the game is concerned. So we will pick their brains. We will obviously pick Samoh's brains, and we'll find out exactly what this whole thing is going to pan out to be. Just a word, we will be doing this for the next couple of hours or so, because we feel that this tournament might stretch. It's a really deep stack event. So we're going to do this live coverage for a couple of hours, have some fun with the guests that are going to come up, and at the end of which we will say goodbye by saying good luck to the participants who are still remaining at the end of the 2-hour period.
Yep, the participants have taken their seats and we are almost getting started. We have 19 seconds away from dealing the first hand of this sit and go. Just a quick look at this final table. We have some very, very familiar faces, Pete.
I think, from the dealer side, let's just look at the gentleman by the name of Architect 1. A lot of people know him in the poker scene. Quite the funny guy. He's been putting up some funny stuff on IPPA. So there's been a lot of fun that Akash Shekhar, who is Architect 1, has been up to. He's also a very, very solid grinder, and he has done a lot of, not only has he made plenty of final tables on Spartan, but he's won plenty of titles. He's also won a package to the APT, I believe, last year. So if you guys are watching us right now, we also request you to put on your comments, questions for all our guests, for Samoh, for myself. My poker knowledge is not that great, but I will try and answer it as much as you can. So we will be following your questions on Facebook Live right now.
Just to let you know how tough and difficult this final table is, on the very first hand of this table, we had an open and a 3-bet. So, and they are like a zillion big blinds deep. So, I'm just going to give you, this final table has some of the best and the up and coming players in the country today. We have Dodging Bullets or his Nishant Sharma. I remember playing with Nishant Sharma in one of the recent events in Goa, and he's good. He's good. I mean, I was very impressed by how we played the entire session when we played, and how he was basically table captain for the longest time, and he was actually taking his pots. And I think he's going to be one of the tougher players on this final table. And of course, the crowd favorite, we have Variance Sahil Agarwal, an old friend of mine. No.
It's a very well-behaved table right now because there's a lot of GL guys that's going on in the chat box. So good sportsmanship.
And Sahil Agarwal is one of the most renowned pros in the Indian circuit. And when he won this seat for the Destiny, I finished 4th. So I hope he wins it, and I can say that the guy who won when I was there on that final table won the whole thing. So yep, so Sahil is there, and then we have Indian Dirt. Sri Harsha is one of the sickos who's crushing the entire scene right now. I think he's coached by one of the top players in the world, and he's right up. He has position on Sahil and Basically, he has the position on all the good players, so it's going to be very interesting to see how the good players kind of adjust to the fact that you have a very tough opponent to their left. A couple of players actually wanted us not to reveal their names because I think it's a fair deal because they just don't want to give out their game or whatever, and we don't really want to let people know who they actually are, which is fair.
So those three players are Amul Better. We've also got Pot 19 and Zulua. Coming back to the other players who are in the mix, we've got Poker Noob, who's also one of the guys who's pretty well known, quite a rugged Spartan as well. Anirban Das.
He has won a bunch of stuff on Spartan itself.
Yep.
We also have Anirban Das has won more than 135 tournaments, Indian tournaments. 135 tournaments. I mean, that's insane. I mean, just to outright win 135 tournaments is crazy. So we have some great talent here as far as poker is concerned, and I think we are in for a great final table.
Yeah, it's pretty deep. Players are sitting with a stack of 100,000 right now. The blinds have begun at 100, 200 with an ante of 25. So despite
that's like 500 big,
it's a pretty deep tournament to begin with. We know for a fact that many of these players are looking to ride the stack as long and as hard as they can. Wait, that sounds a little dirty, but not what my intention was. But yes, that is what these guys are going to try and do. Many of them experts at running that deep stack really well. So I'm sure they're looking forward to putting their skills to the test in this one.
Yep.
All right, so let's look at some of the other players who are also a part of this thing where we've got Amit Kumar playing under Amit030. We've got Pot 19, we've got Zulua and Amul Better, the mysterious three who we don't know or who have chosen to not reveal their identity at this particular point in time. Many of the others are pretty regular at playing at Spartan. A whole bunch of them have been quite active, not only in these big tournaments like the Destiny series, but also in the daily schedules. I can see plenty of these guys selling packs online, and it's pretty good in terms of the fact that they have an opportunity to make this into a career. Many of them young boys who are, playing this for the last couple of years now.
Also, Pete, I just want to ask you, I just observed something. A bunch of the players today on the final table, a lot of them are from IIT and IIM.
Yeah, very brainy guys.
Like a majority of them.
Yeah.
So, do you think there's like a trend, or do you think just, intelligent guys can just do better at poker?
I think back in the day when we did an online live hybrid thing at one of the IITs in Bombay, what came through was the fact that a lot of these guys have nothing to do after their studies.
Correct.
So sheer boredom compels them to find new ways to entertain themselves. Poker is definitely one of the ways that they, sought to pass their time. And then it comes to a point where they realize that you can make some money out of this, and then it sort of takes off from there.
Correct. And do you really think that people who pass out of IITs or IIMs who they have a much better chance of faring well at poker compared to the others?
I know some total duffer failure types come out of the IITs and the IIMs. Well, that's really not, I think, any measure to, confirm that, okay, this guy, just because he's come out of an IIT or an IIM, he will definitely go on to become a success. But the fact is that it does give them a much heavier advantage, I would say. Only because many of these guys are really good at math and logic, and as far as playing a game like poker is concerned, those are key skills that you can exploit.
Correct.
So getting back to the players who we have right now. The guy who's won the first Destiny event was Amul Better. And since we don't have much information about them, we're going to talk about the second Destiny winner, which is Amit Kumar, playing under Amit030. He's a 24-year-old lad from the city of Jaipur. And he is a BTech graduate from, like Samoh said, from an IIT school.
Of course.
IIT Roorkee. He's a grad from IIT Roorkee. Very typically began playing poker, small ball poker back in his college days with friends, with blinds as low as 1-2, started grinding online, and then he sort of picked up from there. I think this is a trend with a lot of these guys. I think they've been very clever about the fact that they need to start slow and build it up. Of course, we've heard horror stories, but it's good that they're pursuing this particular path.
I think another college which comes to my mind is the Manipal Institute of Technology.
Yeah,
I think
a lot of poker players coming out.
No, I mean, I think I'm talking about back in 2011, 12, 13. We had an influx of players from Manipal who came in and made it big in the Indian poker scene.
Right.
And coming back to Amit, he has played 9,000 tournaments on Spartan. 9,000 tournaments on Spartan. I mean, that's insane. That kind of volume is, I think it's unbelievable.
So you need to turn a couple of pages for a higher number that's going to happen.
9,000 tournaments. I'm a team pro. I've been a team pro for Spartan for close to 2 years. I'm not even close to 9,000. I don't even know.
Wait a second. All right, like our production team keeps flashing us with these tags that says that we should remind you users to leave us your comments. We are following them on Facebook Live on the Spartan Pokers page. So if you have any questions, queries, comments, anything you wish to share with us, please post it online right now and we will answer your queries and comments as we see them come through.
Just a quick look at the tables, and there's not much happening as far as stacks are concerned. I think everyone is pretty much
well, Voldemort's lost a bit.
Starting stack. Yeah, I mean, I think the pots are big enough for, for you to lose about 10% of your chips at this point in time. It's not much. We are already at 120 to 40 with a 30 ante.
Right.
And I think they're pretty much everyone is on their starting stack, and I guess nothing big is happening right now. I think the big action comes when the blinds get deeper. I mean, when the blinds get bigger, and when there's more money in the pots.
Sorry, man, I'm just getting distracted by the chats that are going on right now. Apparently, SRK, Amir Khan are playing on this table as well. We didn't realize poker is so hardcore popular with the Bollywood set. But yeah, there's a lot of fun and games happening at the table right now with players exchanging witty repartee. So
this is the typo, right?
Yeah.
It should be a typo.
That's exactly what I said. That there are some serious numbers.
This is not a typo?
It's not a typo.
Oh my God.
We'll get to him. So anyway, we're speaking about Amit Kumar, and he has made a few really deep finishes as far as tournaments on Spartan are concerned. He's won the Sunday kickoff, he's won an IOPC title, and he has of course won a Destiny event, which has landed him a seat in this particular SNG. Now that particular gentleman had won 4.71 lakhs for his Destiny win, and that prize package also included a 1 lakh rupee seat into this tournament. Now, for people who are wondering what the fuss with Destiny is all about, you've been living under a rock for the past 10 weeks, we assume. So we're going to take you through exactly what the fun and the aspect of this particular thing is. There's 10 lakhs at stake here. Yeah. And this 10 lakhs basically comprises of an all-expense paid packet that gets you a $10,000 seat into the biggest tournament in the world. You get return flight tickets, and of course you get hotel stay in pretty much what is the poker capital of the world, Las Vegas.
Yes, it is.
And you've been to Vegas, or at least in your mind, like me.
Yes, so I have mixed emotions about Vegas. So
really, do tell. The entire poker community is hearing and watching us right now.
I know. I mean, for me, Vegas is. It is very expensive, and I would have definitely gone if I'd won the Destiny package to Vegas for sure. But otherwise, I think it's just too expensive to actually go to Vegas and it's just a punt. I mean, you can go there as a tourist and just have fun, and then play a couple of tournaments because you're there as a tourist. But otherwise, I think as a professional poker player, I think it is just like, I have friends who've been there. Like for example, Aditya Sushant, who just won a bracelet. So I spoke to him and I met in Goa recently, and I was like, what's up? How was your Vegas trip? I was like, I'm just about break even, which is a good thing for if you're doing a Vegas trip, by the way.
Of course.
So if you have a great trip and you're breaking even, I don't think that's a very profitable proposition in my eyes.
We'll come back to that because I am really interested in understanding the whole Vegas fever that people get at around this time of the year.
I think it's a punt. I mean, basically, Vegas is
but it's a 20 plus lakh punt that you're taking.
It is.
Does it really make sense for a lot of people?
It's like the whole, mecca of poker and, oh my God, it's the World Series and have you seen that video? The World Series video is World Series time. It's that. That's
right.
What it is.
Okay, we have been informed that there are some comments. Let's check out a few of those then.
So Peter just
technology is not being my friend right now. Okay, here we go. Okay, we're live.
Okay, so I've been turning pages with the profiles, and I just noticed
being
that.
my friend right now. Oops.
Okay.
Here we go. Okay.
So an architect who is Akash Shekhar. Now I was surprised about the whole 9,000 tournaments. Akash Shekhar has played. This is not a typo, right? 88,476 tournaments. 88,000 tournaments on Spartan. I mean, are you kidding me? I'm okay. I understand if you're a professional poker player, but 88,000 tournaments, that's insane. And he has tournament winnings of over a little under 30 lakhs, which is again very good. Akash is a very good player. I've interacted with him a couple of times over the last couple of years. Do we have the questions?
We do, but I am struggling to get onto the right page. Amity University represent. Really, Akash? Really? All right, bro. We will give you the represent that you want. No worries. All right. Someone needs to get me onto the comment section. Here we go.
What do you? Okay, so I'm looking at Nishant's. What do you do to stay focused in a long tournament?
Right.
Music, works, exercise and break. My goodness. If I actually started doing exercise during breaks when I was actually doing the entire grind, I would have probably been half my size by now. Drink lots of water to hydrate myself. Yeah.
That's a good plan.
Avoid rice to grind long.
We're South Indians. We cannot ignore rice as part of our diet.
I don't know without having rice. I mean, Red Bull is my best company. Red Bull is not probably your best company. Energy drink, yeah, sure.
That's another thing we can talk about. Red Bull. People are fanatics about this drink.
Yep.
It's got its place. There's no question about it. But I think there's way too many people who are using and abusing it.
I think no. This is a real issue, right? So I remember. Back in the day when we used to have the IPC and Royale and things like that, like I'm talking about Casino Royale, that's when Red Bull was a rage and people always used to be on Red Bull.
Right.
And Red Bull actually kind of pumps you up. You just randomly start 3-betting and 4-betting and for no reason. You're just randomly spewing money because you're just high on Red Bull.
Hey Navdeep, thanks for logging in.
Oh, we've got a
bunch of comments. Okay, we're gonna catch up with a lot of these guys. Who are you picking to win this? Ask Samir.
Okay.
Samir, we have a Samir at the table also, right?
Do we?
Wait a second. We do.
Samir Sharma, Voldemort.
Yes, Voldemort 11.
Yeah.
With a scary name like that, it's quite possible that Samir has this advantage over the rest of them. But I think if you look at the list of players, when you've got guys who are playing 80,000 tournaments,
he has to be the favorite. I mean,
Akash, we're putting serious pressure on you, man, right now.
I mean, if you play 80,000 tournaments, bro, you gotta win this thing, man.
You know what?
80,000 tournaments.
At this point in time, I tell you the guy who's really happy about the fact that we're dissing Akash and Khilli udang all this guy. This gentleman by the name of Variance is just sitting pretty out there. We know you're there, Sahil Agarwal. We know.
Let me tell you something about Sahil Agarwal. Okay, this is a long time ago. This is like, I think 4 or 5 years ago. Sahil Agarwal had a Facebook album on his Facebook page. The name of the album was Bad Beats. So what Sahil used to do is he used to post screenshots of all the ridiculous beats he got on multiple sites and say, oh, I'm so unlucky. My ace king never hits. Oh, these queens, man. When will I ever win with queens? I mean, just things like this. I hope he still has it.
But he has, obviously, he's reached a point of zen.
Yeah,
if you name your username Variance,
yeah.
I think you've reached a point in your life where you're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I think I've made my peace with it. But to answer Sameer and Jayant Alagwadi's question, who would you pick? I think it's going to be difficult to pick just one. So maybe we'll give you a couple of names that we feel.
Yeah, Sahil is a very close friend of mine, and so I will obviously pick Sahil.
Right, he's the emotional
pick is Sahil. Like, come on, I want Sahil to win next. But I think, as far as I know, as far as I've interacted with players, I haven't ever had a conversation with Pocono or Pot 19,
right.
Even Indian Dir. I've only heard people talking about Indian Dir. I think my picks will be an architect, Dishad Dojing Bullets, and Sahil.
Okay. My picks are pretty similar to yours. An architect is obviously there. And Sahil Agarwal has Variance, that is. He has obviously got the chops. He's got the experience of live and online, while this is the online format that's there. And as I say,
Sahil
he's just picked up pocket
flop
things.
middle set conveniently on an ace-high board so that he gets paid by the
I think he's just making sure that my point hits home.
Yeah.
So these are the two guys who I think are doing really well for themselves. I don't want to discount any of the other players who have come here because all of them have fought through serious fields to get to this particular sit and go. And sometimes poker comes down to a flip. So there's only so much that a player can do in the best possible intentions, in the best possible situation as far as making calls which are decision based and all that. Keep hearing.
Of course.
So,
unless it's me that I'm scared to win a flip on Spartan. Believe me, if I win a flip on Spartan, you are Spartan pro, man. Obviously, you will win against me. The chats after I win a flip is if I suck out, it's over. It's game over. I mean, the kind of stuff I have to see in the chat is insane. So I think all these guys have put a lot of effort to actually be here, and I think each one of them deserve to win. I just like Sahil.
Yeah, that's fine. Sahil, we're going to send you flowers, man. Or at least someone's going to send you some flowers, man. But yes, I think it's fantastic because no matter who wins today, they get to go and fulfill a dream. I think maybe a couple of these. Sahil has definitely gone to Vegas.
For sure, yes.
But I'm not sure how many of the others have gone to Vegas. But it's a dream. No matter what level, what skill you are as a poker player, you want to go and experience that and just soak in the fact that you're seeing 7,000 players sitting in an Amazon or any of those big ballrooms that they're running the tournament in Vegas's Rio Casino. So good luck to all of these players. It's a deep tournament. If you get out right now, there's a reason why we're laughing because I think Vegas won't really happen to you if you lose a chunk of your chips this early in the situation. But that's
almost put half a stack in.
And as we said, Pot 19 has pretty much committed half a
stack in. Obviously, I think you just have to fold this deep. Oh,
all right.
The man just
straight draw, flush draw. All right.
I think the reason why he did that is because he had the nut blocker. I think he had the ace of clubs to go with it.
We're just happy to see that card, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think with the ace of clubs, Voldemort can never have the nuts, and
Fair enough.
I think.
So Pot 19 takes down that pot.
Ace king fold. See, my point is this, a lot of people actually make a big fold or makes a fold and says, I folded ace king.
Yeah.
You should have called.
Why be that sad about the whole thing? Although I feel there's this trend about people really getting married to Ace King for some reason, and then the whole idea, "Arey bro, तूने call नहीं किया?" And I'm like, it's all right, you know, like live to fight another day. Hey Winston, hey man, nice to meet you.
I know.
Thanks for joining in.
I call him BB for it's a personal reason.
Right. I want to drink Red Bull. Says Prashant Roy.
Of course, you should drink Red Bull, man.
Please, man, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Add other substances to the Red Bull if you feel like. No worries. Open cards replay after the tourney is over. Bro, I wish, Navdeep, I wish we could do that. It would show you how badly I know the game, and it would probably put Samoh in even better standing with his knowledge about the game. Variance.
Yes, it's much easier
FTW,
to say.
Richie.
Oh, Richie,
Yo,
what's up?
Richie. Sri Harsha all the way says Vishal Tulsian. All right, we're taking some bets on the outside as well. Prashant Roy. Arey Prashant Roy, yaar, तुमने कर दिया ना ये Happy Indian वाला बात. You know, all are winners. Like, come on, bro. अरे एक को तो pick कर. It's all good. Vishal, Vatsal Tirani, welcome to the broadcast. Thanks, Richie. Thanks for joining in, man.
Danish Sheikh is in. Danish Sheikh. Is the Danish Sheikh there? No?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Danish, post a comment, man. All royalty from the domestic circuit are logging in to watch this.
The new kid calls him Danish Sir.
Danish
Sir. Yeah,
Oh,
I was in Goa recently and they're like, oh, Danish Sir is so awesome. It's like, I was like, do I call him Sir too? I mean, I don't even know. But, the Danish is one guy whose work ethic is out of this world.
Yeah.
If he's one of the best players out there in the Indian poker scene right now, and it's all work ethic and nothing else.
That's exactly what you need to be successful in this space.
Yep.
And as far as online poker is concerned, the thing is, opportunities are huge.
Correct.
It's just that you need to have that discipline in place to make sure that you become a winning player. Who knows what level of winning player you might become?
True.
That depends entirely on the day being yours.
Correct.
But I think you can be a consistent winning player that we can figure it out. Okay, we're just gonna look at a few more of the comments that are there. Amitabh Suvan, yes, flips are a disaster pretty much everywhere, and he wishes everyone good luck. We have no idea who Pot 19 is, Winston. We hope that we will also be able to reveal that a little bit later in the day. Sandeep Narayan asks us who the player names are. Well, we don't have the names for
everyone.
Voldemort, Zulua, and Amul.
No,
Better.
Voldemort we do. Samir
Oh, sorry.
we don't have for Pot 19, Zulua and Amul Better.
Okay, and just to run through the names of the players who are there on this final table once again,
Amit,
you have
Amit 030 is Amit Kumar, Indian Dir is Sri Harsha, an Architect 1 is Akash Shekhar, Poker Noob is Anirban Das, Dodging Bullets is Nishant Sharma, Voldemort 11 is Samir Sharma, and Variance is Sahil Antilog Agarwal.
कौन है ये साहिल अग्रवाल? All right then. Rajiv Kanjani says, I'm stuck in the Mumbai rains, but I'm on the way. Come on, Rao. We are waiting for you to join this broadcast, my friend. Bring it. All right. Thank you guys for joining in. Jen, we can only do so much on this particular broadcast. Hopefully, Amit is watching and hearing us at the same time.
I know.
Ramesh Rao wishes everyone good luck, and as do we. There's quite a few people who have logged in right now, and please keep sending us your comments. And it's time to. We can bring in our guest in a few minutes. He is one of the well-known faces on the domestic circuit. So just let's wait for. Oh, let's do drum rolls and everything. Yeah. Come on in, man.
We are just Shravan Chabria. Just getting mic'd up.
Yep. All right. So for those of you who are unaware of who Shravan Chabria is, he has been one of the leading performers on the Indian domestic circuit. He's won a number of titles in India, and he's had a number of deep finishes in the Asian circuit as well.
Yes.
And
we have Maria Krivlovska.
Also
And,
Hello, Maria.
Hey, Maria, what's going on?
And here we go. Welcome, my friend.
Good evening, guys.
What's up?
Hello.
Welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time
Hi,
out
guys.
to join us.
How's everybody?
So, Shravan, obviously, there's a lot at stake for these guys to play. It's
course.
a winner-take-all situation. In case you didn't know, the entire 10 lakhs goes to one particular winner.
Wow, exciting times in India.
Exciting, absolutely. From a time where I think 10 lakhs was the overall prize pool.
Hardly. That was also like...
It used to be a big tournament when 10 lakhs was part of the prize pool. So,
sure.
finally, for a guy to actually, win
the
all
entire
of that,
10 lakh.
it's fantastic.
It is fantastic. And to be honest, I mean, these are great times and it's only looking
Better.
much more positive for the future.
I was actually talking to Samoh a little while earlier about Vegas and his take about, he mentioned the fact that it's a punt. It's definitely something that one should do if you love poker and you want to go and experience that one time that a lot of poker players want to visit Vegas for. But is it something that you can do on a year-on-year basis if you don't really have the funds for it?
To be honest, I don't think the Indian community is ready for that, nor do they have the bankroll for it. Mainly, the main thing is they do not, to play the main event, which is like a 7 lakh buy-in game in INR.
Right.
You need like 7 crores.
Right.
Basically, if you don't have 7 crores, you cannot play the game. Or else you're just
going to keep... I think 7 crores, I think that's pushing it a little bit.
Okay, it's like 100 buy-ins.
100 buy-ins, yes. Of course,
you can
100
keep
buy-ins.
like 50 buy-ins.
But still,
that's just for that one particular tournament.
But that simple math, basically 10 times, is what puts
100
times, I beg your pardon, is what puts everything into focus. 7 crores is what people pay for a home in this city. So to have that as your bankroll means
and there are people in the world, international players who have that kind of role, and thus they go and play those games. They can afford to play those games. They are skilled to play those games, and the way they approach the game is quite different from how we do.
Of course. Even though, I guess the game's been in India now for close to 10 years.
Correct.
We still haven't reached a point where I don't think we can even call ourselves...
the start has just begun.
Yeah, it's
now
not even like we are maturing.
In the next 10 years, I think we'll have like a good cream Indian community, of poker players.
But do you think this is going to be a regular feature for a lot of players? I see a lot of people, coming back to the Vegas point again, a lot of people who go to Vegas with this whole idea of बहुत बड़ा उखाड़ के आ जाएंगे, and they come back and there's this complete depression that sort of comes up in them, and I feel bad about that. I almost anyone who asks me about going to Vegas, I say go have a good time, come back, but don't make it your life's mission.
But the thing is that's the thing. Like you cannot just go and have a good time because that trip is an expensive trip. It will cost you a good 20 lakhs to play a decent amount of tournaments and experience. So if that amount is not serious to you, then you can go and enjoy it. But if it is serious to you, which it is to most people, how can you enjoy it? How can you enjoy losing that money?
No, sir. One more thing I've noticed that people say, "Oh my God, this whole busting out of the main event is it's just so heartbreaking. It's just so heartbreaking." I was like, did you actually expect to cash?
Exactly. I mean, people came and asked me. Like, I was sponsored by Thrill, and I was fortunate enough to go and play the main event. I had a deep
and you
run
cashed as well, right?
I reached end of day 4. I came like 300 out of 7,000
people. Wow,
okay. And as soon as I busted, people were like, "Okay, don't worry, it's okay." I said, "Dude, I want to party, man. This is like dream. First of all, it's a dream to come and play the event. Then cashing it, going that deep, almost making it to day 5. I was obviously at top of the mountains, man, of the clouds, and I didn't understand why people take it that seriously. Firstly, I don't think they're good enough to cash it for 3 days, I
think it's more a mental, physical kind of a thing than really it being the technical know-how of the game.
Absolutely.
But I've heard from multiple people it's the softest 10K in the world.
Well, definitely it is soft. Out of the 8 or 9 players, you would probably have 2 regs on your table, and most of them are... Okay, thank you very much. Most of them are like between the age of 40 to 60. And so the tables are mostly soft for the first few days. and it's like a 2-hour level, so you have enough time to maneuver and really get a good read on each player because the table doesn't break that easily.
Oh, okay.
So, considering those factors, you have a lot of time to really build your stack well, and I feel it is an awesome, one of the best tournaments one can actually play.
Okay.
So, but as you go deeper, the cream is, there are mostly only the good players who are there.
Of course,
and that's when it really gets tough because they are playing that deep, and that deep, these guys are just too good, you know.
True. And about the final table for the Destiny event, who do you think is the favorite?
Well, considering experience, I would say variance. I have 3 players in mind, and I think all 3 are pretty much almost equal to ship this. That's Indian and Nishant and variance. An architect is also another good solid player who's not going to let it go that easily.
Correct.
He's going to fight it out till the end and give them a run for their money as well. So it all depends. Basically, I feel who runs a little better on this day should take this home at the end of the day.
I guess,
Quick shout out to all our new joinees. Hey Tony, thanks so much. Goindi, what's up? Tane, Nikesh's pick is Nishant Sharma for the win. We've got Bhuvan Bansal who's joined in, Arpit Jain, Madan Kumar,
Jain, Maddie.
Bhuvan Bansal.
Sweet
No more taking odds, my friend. Thank you for everyone who's joining into this broadcast. If you have any questions for Shravida, please send them in the comment section, and we will get him to answer those questions for you. At this point in time, as far as the game itself is concerned, some chips have moved around, but more or less it's even. Yeah. I think the short stack continues to be Voldemort. Yeah.
That's short. I mean,
if you can call that short. So
that's not short. That's not even remotely short.
He has like 200 plus big blinds.
Yeah, that's an easy number to work with.
So I think right now we have we have an architect in the chip lead, and Nishant is second in chips, with Variance who is third in chips. So seed 1, 2, and 3 have the chip lead at the moment. Well, it's just the beginning. I mean,
this tournament is so deep.
This is so deep, and I always believe that when tournaments get tougher, especially those very tough European high roller fields, it's all about who picks cards.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I said in this case also. I feel they're all good skilled players, and whoever runs good on this day should be taking this down.
See, because there is not much edge per se. For example, if the final 4 are, say, I'm just saying, I'm just giving an example. Indian Variance, Nishant and an architect. I don't even know who is a clear favorite anymore.
That's true.
So, it'll be fun to watch.
I think Indian is a little more of an aggressive player who's going to really go out there and put the pressure.
Yeah, I've heard that Indian is being coached by one of the top players, top online regs.
I guess so. That's what I have heard.
He's been absolutely crushing.
And I think he's just taken his game to another level.
Wow. Did he just value bet?
No.
Yeah, I think he just value bet a 4-pair of the river. Yeah, he just did it. I just want to see what happened in that hand. Let's just go back to that hand.
And
replay. Let's just switch to the
Can we switch to the tables, please?
I just want to see what happens with his hand.
Can bump up the speed.
Okay. No, we just want to pick up. Yep.
Right, here we go.
Okay, so we have Indian who opens to 800.
Opens. Oh, it goes
yes, min check back by pot 19.
Yeah, it's pretty much click. It's just a min 3-bet. If you calls, I think it's pretty standard. Flop is this, check. What do you think about this check in the spot, Shravan?
I mean, he should be c-betting, I think, definitely with the actual holding that he really has, he should be c-betting 100% of the times.
Yeah, I think in this particular spot, I think pot 19, I like the check here to a certain extent because these kind of boards very difficult to get folds. Like, a lot of his peeling ranges will have a lot of middlers.
Correct.
Like king,
Absolutely.
queen, king, jack, king, 9. Nothing of that is going to fold. No pair is going to fold. So I don't mind a delayed c-bet here. The turn it just gets worse. Like, if you're just looking at range versus range.
Exactly.
In this pot, pot has the worst range in this board. Like, this board kind of destroys pot 19.
Absolutely.
It goes check,
but with his
check.
win click back range.
There you go. See, I think it's just this is how good this kid is. Like, it just goes check on the turn, and pot 19 has actually capped his range to ace high.
That's about it. Yeah.
So, and the moment the range is capped to that high, because I think 9s will bet turn, 7s. I don't think he'll 3-bet. He'll just call. He will never have a pair in his range.
And all king queens and
he will always bet flop. So I think
even ace king, ace queen should be betting flop.
Correct.
Obviously.
So and then he bets very small to get a call from ace high, and then he just gets a call from ace high, which is actually insane.
I don't like the way pot plays this hand at all, but Indian obviously.
Yeah, but Indian actually did very well to actually cap his range in the spot, and just value bet 4 and get called. That's his
sizing was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just have to be. He bet like 30% or something.
Correct. Absolutely.
Well, if you're wondering, I'm still here with these two guys, but my knowledge of poker is not obviously as elevated as these guys are doing it right now for you. And we will continue to analyze a few more hands with our other guests who are coming up over the course of the next hour or so. And as far as Shravida is concerned, we would like to thank him for being a part of this broadcast.
Thank you so much,
He's going to head off.
I have to head off. It's Sunday.
Yeah.
And got to put in my own volume tonight.
On the SpartanPoker.com.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. I intend to ship the Super Stack. Super
Stack. Yeah, it's at 8:30 p.m. today. 20 lakh guarantee. Let's go.
We must wait.
Anyway, thank you, Shravan.
Thank you so much for having me over, guys. It was a pleasure.
Yep.
Thank you so much. See you guys.
So yeah, that was just a small display of excellence by Indian girl in that hand. It's beautifully played.
Well, I'm guessing all that training and coaching is paying off then.
Of course. I mean, see, one more thing is that, one thing I realized, like my last blog, most of this game is mental. I mean, I can coach you, I can train you to become probably, a very, very good player as far as technical knowledge is concerned. But if I don't have the mental bandwidth to implement it while I'm playing, what am I going to do with the technical knowledge?
Absolutely. I think a lot of people eventually realize that it's something that I think comes late in the curve of being a poker player, which is fine. I think you don't realize the depth of this game till a point that you actually know a lot more than you initially began with.
Of course.
And then the things that you didn't pay too much heed to suddenly have such crazy amount of relevance and depth as far as your gameplay is concerned.
Of course. It's like this. I mean, let me give you an example. Like, even players, who have been playing this game for a long time, in the first 1 or 2 years of them playing, if someone told them that, oh bro, your game needs to improve, he would actually take offense.
Yeah.
Like, bro, come on, man, what are you saying? You know what I mean? Yeah, I'll take offense. Come on, man, I'm going to play.
I've seen a lot of that.
Yeah, but then,
a lot of that.
But then once they are like 5, 6, 7 years old, they're like, you're not good. Yeah, probably I'm not that good, bro. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, the thing is, the smarter, the clever guys who take away from this, they know for a fact that they need to get better.
Absolutely,
and they're open to that constructive criticism.
Absolutely,
that's all a part of the entire, part of being a poker pro. Just want to say a quick hi to Hussain and Jerry. Why aren't you there? What's happening at that point in time? We've got couple. Hey couple. Abhinav Iyer, I believe you are supposed to be here, my friend.
Yes.
We're looking forward to seeing you. Anup Palod has joined us on the live broadcast, which is strange because he's in the studio as well. So please, let's welcome
Anup Palod.
Welcome.
My favorite.
Hi,
Anup.
Peter. Hi, Samoh.
Please have a seat. Let's. We're obviously really slim, slender folks here. Move around a little bit for Anup to be a part of the setting. So, Anup, first of all, like we've asked pretty much every other guest, which is only one actually before this one. Who do you feel? We believe you have some vested interest.
Of course,
in this particular final game.
On 4 of them, I think so.
Yeah, I do. Like,
There you go.
Sahil is a very good friend, and Nishant and Indian dude Sri Harsha are part of my stable.
There you go.
So, yeah, I am little biased
We are
towards
not really
it's gonna be
But
very
forget the stable guys. Besides those boys, obviously the emotional quotient and everything, that's understandable.
Yeah.
But from the rest of them, who are not part of the ever-expanding
IP,
stable,
what's it? Indian Poker
Indian
Pros.
Poker Pros.
who became euphoric.
Yeah.
Oh!
Becoming euphoric.
So, what are you? I mean, you obviously know a lot of these guys who are on the table besides the 3 boys you mentioned.
Yes. So
Who do you feel?
other than that, I'll root for Akash, who is a good friend and a very good poker player as well, right? So let's see. Like, it's a Vegas race. It's gonna be tough, right? They have
Everyone's
to put a
going
lot
to
of
enjoy
effort
going to play
Yeah.
this thing. All right, let's look at a few more comments that are coming in. Chandrasekhar Meena.
Anup has a page online. It's called Sir Anup Alone. Have you checked
Sir Anup Alone?
Have you checked
Oh
that
my
page out?
God.
It's like
Guys, get on that.
You got
Hit
to
like.
Please like Sir Anup Alone. It's probably the best thing you would have ever done in the last 1-2 weeks. It's hilarious.
Hi Chandrasekhar.
Hey, Bobby.
Bobby Suri. What's up, Bobby? Anthony Vivek Souza has also joined us, as has Rishabh Chawla and Praz Korea.
Oh, Rishabh, very good.
Aditya Sushant, some guy called Aditya Sushant is also part of this thing, man.
I know.
I'm not sure who this is, but
Aditya Sushant, like, I still remember Aditya Sushant is super deep in some tournament, and I'm watching him play, and the moment he gets a hand like ace-deuce suited, I know it's over. I know it's over.
I remember the fact is,
I look around and it's over.
when we were following his coverage, for those of you who are not perhaps aware of who Aditya Sushant is, he's India's first WSOP bracelet winner.
Yeah.
It's a huge deal for the poker community in this country. And
Big shout out to Sushi.
Sushi.
Otherwise called Spushy.
but we would like to say that congratulations. There have been a lot of congratulations which have poured in over the course of the last couple of months. Once again, it's
Well
a
done,
fantastic achievement. So we are really pleased that someone, in fact, Sushant is the first India poker champion also.
I know, yeah.
So it's a fantastic feather to have added to the crown. I think all of us Indian poker players, we were just walking around with totally inflated chests for the week after that bracelet was won. And we're really happy about the fact that, he went on to do it for us.
Yep.
Yeah, Sushi has taken poker to the next level in India.
Somadas says, so bloody good this is, fun stuff.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Hey JD.
JD Bhaiya. Hello.
Bobby.
Bobby's here.
Gaurav Mittal. Why does Anup look tense? My friend Tane, if you didn't pay attention in the last couple of minutes, he's got 4 dudes running in this race right now. Of course he is tense. He intends to be the +1 going to Vegas, whoever wins from those 4.
And he's always thinking about where to stash his black money. So
Come join us and feel the Mumbai. You will understand that how difficult it is to travel here.
All right. Let's have a look at the
Bobby Suri. We have Bobby Suri, a student to this broadcast. And Bobby Suri, I have a lot of Bobby Suri stories. I want to tell you one Bobby Suri story which, clearly stands out. So this was when Bobby Suri, one of Bobby Suri's also Goendi, won the... came second in Macau, Red Dragon, and Bobby Suri had a huge piece of him. And Bobby Suri decided to stake back to play cash. And he was playing 100, 200 with 20k or 40k buy or something, and with the Chinese guys. So he basically, Bobby Suri had ace X, and the other guy had queens on a, I think, 9-high board. And Bobby Suri basically calls 2 streets, and he gets there on the river. And this guy shoves, Bobby calls, he turns over ace X. The other guy is losing the pot, and Bobby goes, I'm only gonna break. And
Bobby Suri, we love you, man. Bobby, that's some fantastic shit, dude. There is no way.
the Chinese guy don't know what he's singing. Bobby Suri's having a ball of a time. I think one of the nicest people I've met in the game. He's hilarious. It's great fun to hang with.
JD Bhaiya wrote here, Anup, after dark is more fun, I guess. You are most welcome, JD Bhaiya. You are just like few miles away from Mumbai. Before
you're welcome to come in, man.
You can join me in dark.
It's just one fast car. There's a bar across the road. We're all headed there in an hour. So please make your way out here. Bobby Suri loves us. Of course, you love us, Bobby. We love you too, man.
We love you too.
Aditya Sushant says thank you for the kind words. Of course.
Sir Aditya Sushanta.
Sir, yes, we need to set up that page as well.
Sir Aditya.
When Sushi was deep in the main in that event, I was like, Ace do mat dena, please.
But he didn't win it. He didn't win it with one of those Ace-X hands.
Yeah, Ace-8, I think, right? Ace-8 versus King Queen. The board was King Queen X. And he hit runner Ace.
And the thing is, they put up the post
on
of
his
him.
final hand of
WSOP. And he puts up, someone put up that link on Facebook. And the first comment was, of course it was an Ace-X hand which he won with. It's classic Sushant. So like, yeah, man.
And
anyway.
Hindi language, lagaya. Runner.
Sushi takes the whole I block aces to another level.
Alright, let's take a look at the game that's going on right now. Again, not too much movement in the stacks. Although Voldemort has come back, gaining some more chips. He's now close to a starting stack.
Out of pot.
Yeah.
Pot
19 is now a bit on the lower side, as is Indian Door, who's a little above 80,000. And at this point in time, an architect is leading the race with a little over 124,000 in chips.
And there's a completely different chat really happening.
Yeah.
It always happens at next level.
Thanks, Sunil. Thank you for tuning in.
Rivals.
All right. Wow, this could be a whole other chat situation.
I know. I have no idea. It's complete random stuff.
This is going to go on and on for a lot of the guys. If you are listening to this Facebook Live presentation here at the Spartan Poker, please log into the client itself, because you'll have two forms of entertainment going on at the same time. There's talk of winning 8 rupees per hour in these. It's all good. All right. So let's talk about maybe a couple of the other players who are also in this final table.
People is giving up. Very nice. I think it kind of gets really interesting with this whole dynamic, because everyone's trying to play kind of tightish in the beginning. We have a break coming up in the next 5 minutes. Everyone's trying to play a little tight at the beginning, and everyone's trying to wait for the blinds to go up a little so that there is more money on the pot.
Yep.
And things like that. And Palun, I had a question for you. So I spoke to
I'm pretty
one
sure
of your...
you are going to make joke of me.
I'm not going to make
Okay,
fun of you.
go on.
I spoke to one of your... me and Palod share a very we have a love-hate relationship, right?
Well, there was a lot of love when you guys met up a little bit earlier.
We love each other in general, you know. So, and I don't know, for some reason we always end up in the opposite teams. So that's why we have love-hate relationship, right? So, I met one of Anup Palod's biggest fanboys, aka Nitin Jains.
Oh.
So Nitin Jain is such a big Anup Palod fanboy. It's not even I was like, I shouldn't even say anything about Anup.
Did he set up the Facebook fan page?
So he and
Jalan.
another good
Jalan?
friend, Jalan, they are managing it, and unfortunately they are not even making me admin. We will have fun. It's not for you.
So Nitin once said that Anup Palod became Anup Palod because of some dollars he sold to someone after winning the big 11 or something like that.
That's the story, right? How I entered into the
Poker
Indian
industry
poker
itself.
industry. Right, so I went to Manila in 2014 to set up a sports book over there with a couple of my Australian friends, Jesse McKenzie, right?
On the Mac,
on the Mac, and Luke Brebin, who is a WSOP bracelet winner.
Right.
So I went there with them, and I used to get my paychecks on Nettler and Skrill. In 2014, I used to think that what to do, what are the ways to do. Then someone introduced me to IPP, and my friend Indian Dur, He is the guy who made me introduced to that IPPA group where he told me that you can
Indian
buy
dirt,
and sell. Yeah,
Venus
Indian
shot.
dirt, yeah. So we both were on a Big 11 final table back in 2014 where I wasn't even knowing the ABC. I don't know the ABC of poker.
There's a lot of them out there for sure.
Yeah, and we were very deep in the Big 11 and I shipped it somehow. So I had like 20k USD and I wasn't sure that what to do with this all. And he said that there is this forum you can buy and sell dollar there. I went there and then couple of guys did bargaining with me that sell me and that there clicked me the business idea. There clicked me the business idea and I started doing trading. And then
it was like a stock market, bro.
And then it become like every Sunday I'm getting like 40-50 messages from various poker friends and some.
That's pretty cool, man. From trading dollars to trading horses. The stable thing has been with you for a while now, then.
And then one after another, other businesses started, and here I am after leaving my.
And he just quit his
job.
job. He just quit his job, which was paying over 5 lakh a month or something like that. Some ridiculous amount of money. Imagine.
Hey, Ashwin. Welcome to the broadcast.
I think we have a break coming up in 2 minutes.
Right. Let's take a look at the stacks once again before we get into the last 2 minutes of play. Just a quick look.
The chat.
The chat is pretty hilarious, guys. Sorry, we're getting a little distracted because it's pretty fun to read some of these lines that are going in.
My bet is on the act of past. He will bust. Oh, Jesus.
It was pretty crazy. Okay, there's about 60 seconds left. An Architect is still in the lead with 123,000. He's currently on the small blind, and we've got Dodging Bullets, who's also over 100,000, as is Variance. The rest of them are pretty much in the 80s and the 90s. Not much to choose from even at this stage. It's pretty early days yet.
Everyone still has about 200 bigs to play with.
Yeah. And as far as the tournament itself is concerned,
look at this, look at this sizing. Oh my God, just so beautiful. 3,300.
He's being coached by the best.
He's so good. He's so
becoming
good.
sicko day after day.
Beautiful.
Some appreciation being shown on the way Indian
oh my God!
operating.
Did you see? There was a 5-4 spades there which he played. It's unbelievable. You should just watch it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, he's taking these days next level line where.
Of course, yeah. I mean, it's just
people
crazy.
Don't even think that how you can take that line and do.
And he's actually very good. Like, you know, how much I've seen is incredibly good.
Yeah. So
another player I thought was incredibly good was Pranjal Batra.
Oh yeah, he
was unbelievably good.
Right.
I think he's one of the best out there right now.
Yeah, the difference between the two is the cash game and tournaments. Right, Pranjal is crushing the high stake PLO as well as Hold'em.
Pranjal is very good in tournaments as well.
Yeah, but his focus is moved on to the cash game side these days. Right.
Well, it's looking like it's going to get to be a pretty interesting pot. Already 23,000 in it, and we've gone check.
It has gone 3 ways. So it's been a 3-bet pot. So Amul Better open, Indian 3-bet. It got full call by pot 19 and Amul Better call.
They've all checked.
It's like a magic river card. The flush gets there, but the boats get there too.
Everyone's excited.
I really want to see what comes up in the showdown. Check.
Thank you, Anirban. Glad you're enjoying yourself. Welcome, Rahul Mulwani.
Hello.
My friend.
Melu is also one of my oldest friends in the circuit.
All these boys are like, it's good. It's like a blast from the past. Yeah. You see it from the 2010 season.
I think Amul the putt for sure. There you go. He or she has to have a
And what a mad hand to end that particular session. We are in a break right now for the next 3.5 minutes. We will take a short break and be right back. You can also continue to send us your user comments and questions. We still have Anup Palod, our special guest, in the house with us, as is Sangeeth Samoh, Spartan Poker Team Pro, and myself, Peter Abraham. We will be back in a few minutes. Right after this.
switch. We're going to switch to.
Thank you. There's some talking points. Alright, we are back with this live coverage of the Destiny finale SNG, where you've got 10 lakhs on stake for these 10 players, and this 10 lakhs goes towards a Las Vegas package which includes a $10,000 buy-in and return flight tickets as well as hotel stay for the duration of that trip. It's a fantastic prize. Do remember that each of these players who are playing here, this is actually an add-on prize that they are playing for. They've already
made 4 lakhs.
They've already made 4 or 5 odd lakhs, which they've played those weekly Destiny tournaments in the run-up to this particular finale. And there's a nice bit of cash that they've been sitting on. And this is just a sweet little bonus that's going over that. At this point in time, still it is, there's been a slight change in the stacks. Variance is now at 134,000. He is pretty much leading the pack right now, and he's closely followed by Dodging Bullets, an Architect, and Amul Better. And speaking of better, there is a better than me poker player who we have as our next guest, and this is Abhinav Iyer. So please extend a warm welcome on the broadcast to Abhinav.
Hey Peter.
Abhinav, nice to meet you. Please have a seat. So Abhinav has been a reg on the domestic poker scene for a while now, but I believe your exploits lie more in the online space than the live space, or is it the other way around?
It's more of the online space, to be honest.
Right.
I've played more on PokerStars and not much. I'm just transitioning into the Indian websites.
अरे धोखा ऐसा मत दो Indian sites को. हम क्यों बैठे हैं यहाँ पे?
Abhinav is a very dear friend of mine. We played some epic hands live.
There's a word that poker players don't overuse at all. Epic. And bro.
No, we've actually played some epic hands.
We have. Off late, like
they're just going to defend it till the day they die. That everything was epic.
I think that's something which makes poker very, very unique. Like, we are very close friends in real life, but at the table we actually go at each other. I mean, there is no mercy. It's all like, he's my friend, I shouldn't be evaluating my middle pair in this spot at all.
No way.
Face up, ace high, I should just check back and,
emotional driven decisions that are there.
It's not a game of emotion.
मेरा भाई है.
So there is no emotion as far as, at the table, but, we are very close friends off the table and, so it's I'm very happy to have him here.
But that brings up a situation that I have frequently seen over the years I've been associated with poker. You guys obviously are of a certain mental makeup. You realize that what happens on the table should stay at the table. But I have seen frequently that is not the case. A lot of hands and monies get exchanged and dosti tood jati hai. There's been situations like that. So how does one approach a game with friends in that sense? I mean, you guys have been there around the block, so to speak, for a while now. How can you sort of isolate yourself from ruining a potential friendship or a deep friendship because of things that happen at a table?
I think it is all about poker as a game is very it's a very selfish game, right? I mean, you
play for yourself.
You play for yourself. So I think as players, people realize that end of the day it's your money and the other person's money, and the other person is sitting to take yours, and you vice versa. Having said that, I still know one of the top regs in India. One of the top regs in India still takes offense if he gets he gets sucked out or he gets by other people. Like, this is a person who I know for about 8 years I'm talking about.
I want to cut you, but in the meantime, there's a big hand which has happened, and we've seen.
We've lost our first player.
We've lost our first player.
Let's go back to that.
A brutal hand as well.
Let's just switch to the.
Yeah, can we just switch, please?
Did we lose Indian duh? No.
Wait, we were just talking about Ace King and getting married to it.
No, I mean, I guess.
We've lost pot 19.
And how? Okay, they actually got it in pretty deep, right?
They got it in pre-flop.
Yeah, but then how deep were they when they got it in? Yeah, about 100 bigs each.
70 bigs about.
What happened in the hand before this? They lost a chunk there as well.
This raise and a call. Oh, Amul better just flatted.
Ace king suited on the
Ace king suited in early middle position.
late position, cut off. Hijack.
Yeah, hijack. Yeah. Oh, and it's a huge 3-bet by pot 19. Huge 3-bet. Like it's 1140,
third of the
1140,
remaining
and
stack.
yeah. I mean, he pretty much.
Commits and
I
stuff.
think this is a very. This is pretty much screaming ace king right here.
That-
You know what
that
I
is
mean?
pretty much screaming ace king
Screaming
over
ace
there,
king. Like they basically what pot 19 is trying to do is make the
As
SPR
it-
so low that
he has to
he
put
can
it
just
in
put it
on
in with any board.
any board, yeah.
So basically, if we call, it'll be like a 24k pot, and he could pretty much shove on any
At
board.
that point. Well, I'm guessing Poker Noob, gets out of the way.
Gets it in, boom, call. And we're off
Wow,
to...
that's like a harsh.
See, on this board, you
On
should
pot
probably give
19.
up.
Pot 19 is pretty much.
Wow.
So,
Well, there we go. Well, GGWP and all those little short forms that are there. Pot 19, well played, tough luck. It's a rough one to get on that one. Ace King versus Ace King.
Especially on the Destiny.
Yeah, you can go to IPPA and post about that particular hand. And generally vent your frustration there.
That's been the trend of it.
I think he's like Sangeeth Samoh has got it sorted as far as posting hands is concerned.
Yeah.
Any hand. Jacks, I never win with jacks.
Jacks
oh my
is
god.
Jacks are kryptonite. I'm
How
not
can
sure
Ace King
who can. Have you guys seen that video, which is pretty famous, man? The guy who's recorded all the possible combinations of jacks that I have not seen such brutal hammering of jacks ever in my life. If you guys have not seen that clip, please go onto YouTube and run a search for how pocket jacks lose every time or something to that effect. It's hilarious the way he's gone about putting those clips together.
I think in the same one, there is another one called How to 16-bet Call Off with Jack. It's just a real video on YouTube. How to 16-bet or 14-bet or something. Basically, it goes mid-click, and gets it in with Jacks against aces.
How many big blinds are they deep there?
This is one of those old FTP videos.
Okay.
Nice.
Anyway,
You would know.
Huh?
You would know.
So anyways, we are down to the...
Now I can say we finally have a chip leader. There is a big
dominant
stack
chip leader.
now.
Amul Better is the chip leader right now with Sahil Agarwal in second place, Dodging Bullets in third, and an Architect in fourth.
I think the right side of the table is quite heavy at this point in time.
I've seen more 3-bets and calls on this table than any. I think there was earlier a big pot where Amul Better opens, Indian did 3-bet. There was a cold call by pot 19, and Amul Better cold calls.
Right.
And it was, I think Amul Better won it with 10-eye flush.
Just a quick shout out to Ujjwal Rana, Romit Advani, and Navdeep Sai. You left this broadcast and you joined us back again. Kya kar rahe ho yaar? Why did you leave us? Akash Shekhar, stop following this and play the damn game, my friend. What are you doing?
Entertain himself.
Rajkumar, hello. Salish Jalan, hello. Rajat, hello. JD, kya ho raha hai JD? Brutal, yes, brutal indeed, my friend, brutal. That was a harsh hand. Ace King versus Ace King.
So, Abhinav, how do you think you will approach a table like this?
This table,
Because they all, before we get into that, it wasn't a situation where everyone sort of carried over their stacks from their weekly tournaments. It was everyone starting in the same.
fresh 100k starting.
Yeah.
stack.
So, does that, do you have to forget everything and just get into it?
It's a new tournament altogether. It's like a new sit and go altogether. So my preparation towards this tournament would be different than a complete Destiny tournament with around 500 runners or 400 runners. I would definitely look at player profiles and try to play against a certain player in a certain way, because I would know who my exact 10 or 9 opponents are on the table. And given the deep structure, I would try to play it slowly, try to increase, try to get deeper, and also let the blinds increase so that there's more in the pot and there's more in the pot to play for, and not make mistakes in the early parts of the tournament, which probably pot 19 made with the pot size bluff against Amul Better with the 10 high flush. I wouldn't take a spot like that so early in the tournament because you'll have more chips to play in the end, and eventually you have to get down to number 1, which is going to be the winner. So in this tournament, I would look to sustain for a longer time. So.
Right. Just a quick shout out to Jasween Sehgal who has joined us, Abhinav, Aditya. It's Sunday evening, bro. You took time out from your Sunday grind to watch us. Thanks, man. JD, yes, we have already done the introduction, but we will do it once again. The empty seat belonged to Pot 19, who we are not sure of who that particular individual is. But as far as the rest of the players on this table are concerned, right now on the dealer button is Pokanoob. Which is Anirban Das. We've got Akash Shekhar, who's playing under An Architect 1. Dodging Bullets is Nishant Sharma, who is at 121k right now. Variance is the second alter ego of Antilog Sahil Agarwal. And we've got Amul Better, again an unknown quantity right now, but currently the only player who's got over 200,000 in their chip stack right now. It's a pretty heavy stack to be playing at this stage. Voldemort 11 is Sameer Sharma. We've got Zulua, again no information on that particular player. Indian Duh is Sriharsha Dodapani, Panneni, sorry, I beg your pardon. And the last player who's there on this particular final table is Amit Kumar, playing under Amit 030. So that's for all the players who are currently in this particular final table. Hello to Arun Goel.
Let's just switch back to...
yes, Arun, there is a slight time lag between our commentary and the comments that are there. Yo, Jas.
Let's just switch back to the table for a minute and let's see what happened in this hand. I think it looks pretty standard.
Yeah, we're just waiting for the switch. Okay, there we go.
Okay. Okay. Opens to a standard raise. 3-bet and a call and a... Oh, okay. Goes 3 ways.
That's an interesting check on the flop.
By an architect, yeah, when he had ace king. So, what are the reasons for checking on a board like this?
It's a very dry flop, to be honest. There are not many hands which Amul Better can have, especially when an architect has ace king suited here. Amul Better, an architect, what he expects to get called by is gut shots, which is king queen and king 10, which he blocks as well with the king.
Yeah,
on this board, an architect knows that his hand is best, and unless Amul Better has played jacks in a tricky way and just flatted or something like that.
So it's a pretty good move. I mean, would it be also okay to fire out at this point?
I don't. If I were an architect, like in an architect spot, he can check this flop because of the fact that his hand is so strong, with the backdoor flush draw as well. His hand can just improve on the turn. So. That's probably the reason why an architect checks the flop, and also he gets a lot of weak ace-x to get a bet on the flop. Correct. He gets value from the weak ace-x.
But I think from Amul Better's perspective, I think it's a massive bet for this texture.
It's a huge bet for this texture.
Because I think he or she is actually betting more than half the pot.
It's close to 60% of the pot.
Correct, and it's very tough to get called by
anything
on this board other than an ace for that sizing.
Exactly, and
they're not even letting gut shots in with that sizing. Okay.
It's a standard check call.
This is called the magic card, right?
Yeah, that's the magic card. Yeah,
it's a magic card. I think this is a card where once you get called on this board, I think this is a card where you have to bob. You can just pretty much bet very, very big on this board on this turn, and oh my. I think this is it's a rookie mistake where when you turn a big hand,
you just check
to trap.
So. Maybe Amul Better thinks that an architect doesn't have much on this flop once he check calls this. But I would in my spot, in Amul Better's spot, if I were in that spot, I would definitely barrel this.
Because once you check call this board, an architect's range is super strong.
Yeah.
But considering that close to 60% bet that was fired on the flop, what would your bet sizing on this particular street be?
I would bet big.
Big.
Because I think
Like
I
another
think an
60%.
architect, maybe even more.
Around
Because I
80
think-
to 80 to 18 to 20, 22k.
Yeah, 22K will be a good
will
bet
be a
because,
good bet,
because
yeah.
an architect called this board.
Right,
And there's such a
right.
dry board without any draws out there. So he already has a made hand, a big hand.
So you
which-
want to set this up even further for yourself.
Of course.
And once our butter turns ace queen here, he blocks aces and queens. So
That's true.
It's very difficult for an architect to have those two particular hands. And an architect just folds queens on the flop sometimes.
Yeah,
To
folds queen on
that
the flop for
sizing.
sure.
To that sizing.
Right.
Yes. And the river is an 8. Wow, I can't believe an architect actually checked
Checks,
back,
yeah.
checked third time. 16K, okay.
And you would have just snap called.
Yeah, so I think this hand is very, I think this is an example of how important bet sizing is to actually analyze someone's range and to get value out of their hand when you actually have a very good hand. Like in this hand, if I were to play Amol Better's hand in this spot, I would bet smaller on the flop,
Bigger on
then
the
bigger on the turn, and then bomb the
then
river.
reevaluate on the river basically.
Mostly bomb rivers because
Yeah.
I'll
Your
always,
hand will be
I
generally
pretty much
good.
have the nuts here almost all the time because an architect will almost never have king turn off any 3 bets.
Exactly.
I don't even think he'll 3 bet jacks and 5 this deep. So I think aces, I block aces. So I pretty much have the nuts.
And queens.
And queens, yeah. So anyways,
Okay, let's have a look at the final board so that
okay.
on the replayer.
sorry. On the final board, he calls and loses.
There you go.
Sometimes you can find a fold in an architect spot here as well. What do you sometimes find a fold?
Not when the turn goes check.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, sure. I mean, if the turn gets bombed,
Then you
then
can find
you
a
can
fold.
fold river, yes. But once the turn goes check,
then
it's-
you can't
I
find
think
fold,
it is difficult to fold. And also in an architect spot, if the turn was not a queen and goes check,
Yeah.
and the river is an offsuit 8,
Yeah.
you can even check raise for value. Although it's a little too thin
yeah.
to actually, think that you can check raise for value. I think you can still pull off a check raise.
Check raise,
You
yeah.
could. I mean,
Yeah,
you
you
know.
could, yeah.
I'm saying you can. Although a lot of people will actually say that it's a little too thin.
Yeah, sure.
Well, the game continues. Amol Better definitely is having one of the bigger stacks right now. And as far as the rest of the field is concerned, we have plenty of players who are moving their chip stacks around. We feel that at this point in time, it's pretty much anyone's game. Amol Better, there is no question about the fact that they could go the distance.
Yeah.
But in poker, all it takes is a couple of hands. And things could dramatically change. Just to come back to our guest here, Abhinav Iyer, right now, you've been playing professionally for how long?
So I've been playing professionally I've started playing professionally this year.
Okay.
But in the last 2 years, I've been playing. I was studying abroad, so I was
Okay.
actually playing poker on the side while doing
Just for fun, what were you studying abroad?
I was studying sports management. My
Oh,
master's in
okay.
sports
That's
management.
kind of in the same
That's like-
sphere.
yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like full-on engineer
That's like
types. and
Abhishek
then
going
go-
in reverse.
So what,
I was
obviously
playing
you've been playing for a while. What prompted the change to sort of take it up professionally? You can't be older than 23, 24, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'm 24 now. So I wanted to try it out. Like it's a very good thing. I feel it's a very good source of income. It's a very good. I like the sport. Like I like the game. So it's one of my passions. So
That helps, right? If you
Oh,
like
that
it.
helps, yeah.
if you like it, yeah. So sports also has been my passion, but this has kept me intrigued in the last 3 years or 4 years. It's just kept me going, and it's something which I'm trying to get better on at every day. So that just helps, and it just helps.
So you mentioned earlier that you've been playing on PokerStars a lot more than the Indian sites.
Yes.
Was that because you were stationed what
Abroad,
country
yeah.
were you?
I was studying in Australia, so
Okay, so that obviously had a factor, but even Australia now and
Is
with
banned,
its
yeah.
ban of, I mean,
PokerStars,
that was so
yeah.
sad to wake up to that news,
Yeah.
man. I think a lot of countries are re-evaluating this thing. Hopefully, in our country, they do it in a more positive manner, where a lot more people are able to play there. But what's your take on? I'm assuming you've had some exposure to the sites that exist in India.
Yes, I do play now I regularly play on the Indian websites and all the Indian tournaments. And
what's your general take about the level of skill online, at least?
It's getting better. It wasn't as good, but it's still pretty soft. If I can put it out in a good way, it's explore. Like you can still win on regularly on Indian websites, and Spartan has been coming up with tournaments every day of the week. So that helps because everyone's getting better. You play more, and you can put in more volume as much as the international websites as.
Right.
We were just talking about the same, like, an Indian grader can actually have
more
full schedule
with
on
Spartan with but by just playing tournaments if they are interested in playing tournaments.
Spartan has a monthly guarantee of over 3 crores.
Yeah.
And on event months, for the IOPC month, we actually paid out about 7.5 crores almost.
Yeah. Roughly about a little over that.
So that actually helps the community as well because
that's $1 million.
That's $1 million every month or every 2 months, which is very, very good for the industry and very good for poker players and grinders as well because they have access to that kind of money once they play these kind of tournaments every day in day out. And it's actually possible to make money out of the sport if you continuously work hard on your game.
That's true. And speaking of making money, hi to Vivek Roghani, who's joined the podcast and who's totally backing Variance, the Batman. When Bruce Wayne is backing you, you got to have something behind you. Vaibhav Sharma, hello. Thank you for joining the Wildflower. Hello, Kanishka Samant, Mayank Jaggi as well. Mohsin Ansari, Stephen Matthew, welcome to the broadcast. Abhinav Iyer, not when she opened 10-5 suited
from +2.
Oh, he was talking about the Ace King versus Ace Queen hand. And he couldn't fold. I was just trying.
Akash. Concentrate on your game, bro. What is that? What are you chatting with us for? Play the damn final table. You want to head to Vegas, right? Damn, man.
I wish I could ask Akash a question. Akash, would you actually, if the turn was not a queen, if the turn bricked out, turn in the river bricked out, would you want to check raise river for value? Or is it too thin?
We'll wait. You're obviously not paying attention. We'll wait for your answer. Hi to Monish Ahuja, who's joined us.
Not increasing price pool tonight.
Now, Vivek, let's not be that naughty. Divik Arora, who all are in the game right now? Wow, bro, you need to go and visit an optometrist because it's plain as day to see who are in the game. I can tell you who's not in the game. It's a player by the name of Pot19, was the first elimination on this final table at the hands of Amul Better, who is the chip leader right now. If she bet, turn I fold. Alright, fair enough, Akash.
You nit. Oh my god,
isn't that too nitty? Yeah. Isn't that a little too nitty, Akash?
Too nitty, Akash. Of the 88,000 plus tournaments. Arun, thank you so much for the kind words. And if you want to ask us questions, if you want to ask some more questions, Abhinav Iyer questions, we've got Anup Palod in the house somewhere. Anup Palod is roaming around this building, trying to find new horses for his stable. He will come back and tell us about his successes in recruiting those horses. So if you have any questions.
Our crew talking about, would you want to start playing poker? IPP, by the way.
So we've got a lot of fun guests who are there. We've also got a couple of fresh guests who will join us. But in the meantime, please do send us your comments and your questions. We would be happy to answer them. As of right now, Amul Better still.
Oh, it's a 4-bet?
It's a big 4-bet, yeah.
Open, 3-bet, 4-bet, yeah. No. But I think the 3-bet was kind of big itself. No, it's a 5-bet. Open, call, 3-bet, okay.
Yeah, that's a 4-bet.
That's a big 3-bet to start off. Like 15,
what would be your optimal sizing with over here with your 3-bet?
60,
UTG Open.
60, it's fine, but 65, 66 times.
Yeah.
I guess.
It has to be fine. He's his friend.
No, the 4-bet size you're talking about? 3-bet size.
3-bet size. Yeah. 65, yeah. 4-bet sizing is fine, absolutely.
There we go.
It's pretty.
And that pot goes to Variance.
Obviously.
After that one.
He's open under the gun. He's a nit at heart. He just looks like very like, bro, I'm just outplaying people, bro. I just 3-bet him with kings. I just outplayed him with kings. Yeah, sure, it's very difficult to outplay people with kings.
Well, I'm guessing this whole tournament is pretty much moving along exactly as it should be. I would guess that we should find the end of this tournament closer to midnight tonight. Just a quick note, we will not be continuing the live coverage all the way through till the end because we do need to go and get some rest after the long day we've had. But it's been a whole lot of fun. We've had a bunch of fun people who have taken part on this particular show, and we have a couple more coming up. In the meantime, the flop has opened up with a couple of 9s and a 3, and dodging bullets puts about a third of the pot.
I don't believe anyone who bets a paired board. I have a mental block. I mean,
that mental block exists in a lot of poker players.
I don't believe people who bet paired boards, especially in Omaha. I feel like 993 is like a slam dunk C bet in Omaha, right?
Yeah, in position.
And that will like 25% pot or something, some ridiculous thing like that. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Excuse me. There you go.
Wow, I wish there was background music to when we played poker. Huh? Like
I
some
know.
suspense type music happening here on the wait.
Abhinav, what would you do with an overpair in this spot? Probably bet full turn?
In dodging bullets
Yeah.
I don't think dodging bullets has many overpairs here.
I think he would, right?
No, he just flatted from small blind if I'm not wrong.
Oh, okay.
So he doesn't have many overpairs here, I feel.
And he just led the board?
He just led the flop.
Okay.
So
Wow. He has to have it, right? Obviously.
oh wow, he had an overpair.
Oh,
So he
sick.
just-
That's a sick cooler for
That's a
Voldemort.
sick
We
cooler
could
for
lose
Voldemort.
another player.
We lose another player to another sick cooler.
And that one is not helping the cause of Spartan in all these online forums where they're continuously talking about the bad beats happening here. But let's take a look at the hand once again.
Yes.
Pretty straightforward though.
Okay.
All these mysterious players we are losing one after the other. Well, Voldemort we actually know, Sameer Sharma, who was
it's
playing on that
1200
idea.
Call. Yeah. Oh,
he
it
did
was 3-bet pot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a
okay.
3-bet pot. Yeah.
50-50 call. What will, do you like the 3-bet in the spot?
Yes, I like the 3-bet in this spot because I get to know where I am correctly in the hand.
Okay.
And it makes it easier for me to play post flop in this spot with jacks.
Okay.
Jacks, as we were talking about, is very tricky hand.
very
so
tricky
I
hand
would
to
want
play.
to know.
No, my only issue with 3-bets of these with hands like jacks in the spot is because what would I do if I get 4-bet?
I can always take a flop with jacks, especially this deep if I'm not wrong.
But then
we are 150 big
once
blind
you
deep.
go, no, not that deep, right?
We are 150 big blinds deep, so
Yeah.
So
But then once you get 4-bet, you call and then you don't know what to do on 9-high boards.
sure, but in like his 4-betting range also has to be very strong here. So
Correct. So you can just check fold.
He can check fold. You can analyze his sizing, and then we can play more turn. We can see a few turns also on some textures, on some flop textures.
Correct.
So we can analyze our hand post flop better as well. As played, it's a perfect turn for him.
Yeah, magic.
Yeah.
That's the magic turn.
That's called the magic.
So he has so many overpairs here once he 3-bets.
Yeah.
And Voldemort.
No, what if you had aces in the spot? Would you bet fold turn?
I'm not sure. I'm just definitely calling the turn and then reevaluating on the river.
Okay. No, but then the side. What happened?
No, please. Sorry, there are some really fun comments that are coming through.
And then,
So we'll get to those.
obviously, I think
Obviously,
it shoves
this
and-
is just shoves, and because Voldemort always has a 9 here.
yeah, but so I think. Do you think if Voldemort always has a 9 here, it is better to just shove turn when he only has about 46k behind?
So Voldemort.
See, because the min range on the turn is pretty much the nut.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Then.
And you don't want although there are not many action killing rivers, but because you're out of position. In position, I like the fact that I can call and then
I don't mind shoving the turn as well. Like
out of position. In position.
Out of position. In position.
You can call and then,
I would
yeah,
then
of course.
then shove like Voldemort will just shove and I just have to call.
Yeah.
Once
Because once he raises, he's never folding a 9.
Yeah.
Ever.
Also, Voldemort sometimes if he deceptively plays some overpairs like this, can have some overpairs. So I might just take a call and then just shove the river.
Okay.
Like if I'm in dodging bullets this spot, like he might just trap some overpairs sometimes.
Okay. All right, so let's look at the
And
comments.
that was the end of that particular player, Voldemort 11, leaving us in 8th place. Hey guys, this tournament might end up sooner than we thought it might be. Time to look at a few more comments. Faiz Alam, welcome to the broadcast. He also agrees that Akash is a nit.
I know. Check for
Karan Padak, welcome. Sahil Varian Sagarwal, you have taken time out. Thank you, sir, for joining the podcast here. Mayank Jaggi also rooting for him. Samir Ratansi says, I'm sending some tequila over for you guys. Abhinav knows what I'm talking about. What is the story behind this? Please do tell. I believe that it was quite the night.
It was a fun night. It was a fun night.
Yeah, I think, remember we have had at Samir's place like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
This was like a couple of weeks back in Manila when we had all gone for the
I figured, yeah.
So yeah, what we discussed was whatever happens in Manila.
Manila stays in Manila.
That's right.
Manish Adnani.
Jazz, welcome.
What's
Good
up?
to see you. Louis D'Souza, you guys are totally fun. I'm totally enjoying this. I added 2 totallys there just because. Thanks, Louis. Thanks for the kind words. Samo, why aren't you at this table? Because he's not really a great player. It's just, this is what he does in his off time, really.
Skill ki kabhi.
Go Nishant, you've got this, says Arun Goel. Chintan Joshi gives a shout out to Nishant Sharma. Wow, lots of people rooting for lots of players on this table. It's going to be a fun evening ahead for a lot of these guys who are railing these players. It's Sunday night. There's some fantastic tournaments that are happening pretty much on all the possible sites.
Yes, in
across
25
the world.
minutes. We have the super stack
We
starting.
have the super stack that's starting on the
20
Spartan
lakh
poker.
guaranteed.
There's some sweet money that you can go in for on that particular tournament. So if you have more questions, please feel free to send them to us in this FB live session that we've got going. Bowen Bansal, you've
Sweet
come
dude.
back again. Welcome back, sir.
Bowen Bansal is apparently called the Dream Crusher in Macau.
The Dream Crusher. Bowen, the Dream Crusher Bansal.
Okay, so I just heard, this is second-hand information. This is not real information. I don't even know if this is made up.
Doesn't
right?
matter.
So, this is a good story though. So apparently the story is that Bowen opens, someone 3 bets, Bowen 4 bets, he 5 bets, Bowen calls. Bowen has ace 3, right? The flop,
I think he meant sushi before that.
no, Bowen has ace 3 off. So flop is king 4 rainbow. Bowen leads, the other guy raises, Bowen shoves, the other guy snaps with kings. Queen's full. Turn 4, river 4.
Oh!
So,
The Dream Crusher lives! Wow,
I don't remember
you're
if
taking
it
some
was-
serious...
I don't remember if it was Bowen Bansal or it was Bharat Naidu. It was one of these bees.
Well, Bowen Bansal is on this particular
Yeah,
broadcast.
so let us know if it was you, Bowen.
Thanks, Saurav. Thank you for joining in the broadcast. Well, I see that dodging bullets is now getting closer to that 200k mark.
Yes. But Amul Better is holding fort.
It's this right side of the table that's really got things going, man.
I know.
What are you guys doing on the left side of the table, man? Seriously.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure on IBPS someone's posted Spartans using the right RNG. I'm pretty sure.
Alright.
This particular RNG will only favor people on the left side of the dealer. Once they're down to 6 players, then they'll do the other one.
There's some hilarious conversations in the chat window as well. Alright.
Like, I've had this conversation with a person I met in Calcutta about the whole RNG thing. They're like, bro, your RNG is very bad. We always get sucked down. I said, okay, which hand did you get sucked down on? So I had top set. They're like, hey, run a flesh. Okay? I said, fair, okay. That's unfortunate. So now tell me, so what I want you to do is go back. How many years have you been playing on Spartan? 2 years or whatever? I said, perfect. So go back in 2 years, see how many times you have hit top set, how many times you have got runner, flushes which beat you. And let me know how many times. Then we can talk about the RNG being, not good or bad or what. So I think people are just not aware that it's just a numbers game, right? I mean eventually something like that will happen because you're playing way more hands than this thing. So
We've been told to check out the chats on the game. Wow, there's way too much chatting that's happening.
There are too many railers, I guess you should call it. Railbirds.
There's a lot of people who are talking about the Super Stack, in fact. So yeah, if you're not playing right now at the Destiny final table.
No.
All right. There is that. Okay.
Let's just give it a miss.
Anyway, for people who have just started to watch this particular live stream, we are sitting here covering live the Destiny Finale SNG, which gives a package worth 10 lakhs to the winner of this winner-take-all sit and go tournament.
Yep.
The package contains a $10,000 buy-in into the biggest tournament of the world, and you also got flight tickets and hotel stay that are part of this package. Like we have been discussing right through, it's a dream for any player to head to Vegas and to play, and be a part of those legendary halls of poker that exist in that particular, piece of the desert there. So, just a shout out to anyone else who feels that this is the only shot that you can get. No, you can't. You don't have to wait for the next year to make your way to Vegas. There are two ways you can do this. The Destiny continues after this finale. We will have another 10-week period where we continue the Destiny. So the plan is to keep sending one winner at the end of every 10 weeks via the Destiny series to Las Vegas. So keep playing on the SpartanPoker.com, and if you are a tournament grinder, you can also win 5 monthly leaderboards and get yourself that package to Vegas as well. So there's plenty of opportunity. We've got big tournaments that are happening every day, every month. Be in touch with the schedule. You can just log on to our website to go through all of that. And just a quick note of thanks to our guest, Abhinav, very kind enough to take out time from his busy grinding schedule on a Sunday to come and talk to us.
Not a problem.
He's going to go and grab a cup of coffee while we bring in more people. There's a lot of people waiting to get into this mix, man. So, Abhinav, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Peter.
We will talk to you again.
Samo. I hope I'm not here 10 weeks later because I'll be and I
We
hope
certainly
you guys,
hope so, my friend.
to you too. See you guys. Thank you.
You see how he did that to you too? Obviously, I don't know jack about poker, so that's the way it is. We are... Sorry, I didn't get that.
We're just switching back to the game.
Yes, let's have a look at the game right now while we bring in our next guest quickly. All right. An architect has bumped that up a little bit, and he gets a collar in dodging bullets. It's a three-way pot.
Three-way pot.
This is such a meh kind of a flop. Someone do something.
I don't think anyone's going to do anything.
Yeah, just seems like one of those fade away. Rishikesh, Rosh, welcome to the broadcast, my friend. I am loving this conversation, says Somadas. And the whiskey, Sunday evening made, my friend, you need to bring us some of that whiskey too. It's a dry spell right here, but we are enjoying the game that's happening right now on our screens. From the 10 people who took part in this Destiny finale, we are now down to 8. We've lost, in the first elimination, we've lost Pot 19, who met his or her end at the hands of Amul Better. And the next player we lost was Samir Sharma, who was playing under the handle Voldemort 11. And he was knocked out by...
He got coolered by Dishant Sharma.
Yes, there have been coolers right through Ace King versus Ace King on a flush situation. And...
oh wow, we were pretty big pots.
Okay.
So on 10-8-6 2 spades, check to an architect, he bets Dishant, no dodging calls and variance. Made it 10-5 total, and it got called by an architect. The turn brings the ace of spade, bringing the flush, and variance bets out. Pretty interesting pot. I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty interested to know what they had at this pot.
Come on, variance. You know how to reach us. Let us know what you had in that hand there. All right. The game continues, and we've got a message. Yeah. Have we got anyone who's texting us back? variance once again in the hand, but he quickly gets out on that raise from dodging bullets. Poker noob and Amit have been kind of relatively quiet here. Even Indian Dur for that matter, they've been sort of been a little gun shy. It's almost a similar kind of flop. Yeah, no shuffle dealer. What the hell?
Wash karo dealer, wash karo.
Yes, wash. Right.
I think Indian Dur is just super carded. I think there are spots like that, which comes up in tournaments where you just go monster carded. You just don't pick a hand.
Right.
And like my coach Addy has told me at that point in time, you just either just blind out and wait for a hand, otherwise you just can't do anything. Pretty much, you just have to.
Can you?
There are times when you're just spot dead, card dead.
But aren't you looking to, when that happens, aren't you looking to make something happen?
Not really. I mean, so basically, to make something happen, you either need to have cards or you do have spots.
Right.
So there are times when you just are just spot dead, card dead. Like you just don't pick up a spot, you just don't pick up cards.
Oh.
So I think just have to wait it out and then
Fair enough. So speaking of that, we've got a lot of people like Avinav Iyer, who we just had on. Is one of these young guys who's sort of getting into the sport. We've got a lot of 20-year-olds, 22-year-olds who are getting into online poker, especially.
Correct.
You've been in the game for about 7-8 years now.
True.
What would be some of the tips that you would want to share with someone who's beginning their journey in poker, whether it is live or whether it's online? Maybe something specific for each of them.
Yeah. For starters, realize that you're not good enough.
Right.
I think that is the biggest realization you need to have when you start playing out, because poker is a game which actually gives you a lot of fake sense of superiority,
right,
whether you feel that you're way better than you actually are.
Mm-hmm.
And I think first and foremost, the most important thing you need to realize is that you're not as good as you think you are.
Right.
And see, the problem is the moment, especially tournaments, because tournaments are high variance, form of poker. So because of that, you might end up winning a lot of tournaments, and you might just suddenly feel that you are the end boss of tournaments.
Right.
But probably you're not. So you.
But I think a lot of people fall into that trap.
Of course.
And frequently, you see it frequently happening.
Oh, okay. I think we just have an open call, 3-bet, 4-bet, 5-bet shove. From variance.
Wow. Oh,
okay
then.
I think we're chopping it. Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
Oh!
Okay.
Oh my God.
3 times. That would have been really bad if that heart had hit. Oh man. We would have never heard the end of it. Wow.
Oh, that was close. Yeah, that was close.
Sahil, Akash. Good that was a split point.
Yeah.
We had our hearts in our mouth. I'm sure you guys did too.
Oh my God.
All right, there we go. I think we're ready for our next guest.
Yes.
Where is this man? Is one of the phenoms of online poker and all that. That heavy, deep voice. I want to get that going for
yes, I still
this particular
remember
gentleman.
when one of his in one of his old IDs when he used to play on Spartan exclusively. Both of us, internet kid. So both of us had notes on each other which said, "Do not play." So yeah, let's welcome a very good friend of mine, one of the best players I've seen in the circuit, Karthik Ved.
Karthik Ved, welcome.
Hi,
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me here.
Please. So Karthik, we've been pretty much dissing all the people who are at this table and the poker world in general. But we've been talking about, I was just talking to Samoh about the fact that we have many young players who have developed a taste for the game of poker. You are also in your early 20s, if I'm not wrong.
Definitely.
You've been playing for a few years now. Samoh mentioned a couple of things about what players should be aware of. Like one of the things being, don't think that you're that good.
I was saying you are not as good as you think you are.
Right.
I definitely agree. I think a lot of people especially the younger ones, they mistaken the good run to be good play. And that's where people go wrong. And one of the main aspects is the bankroll management, which a lot of people do not end up following.
Right.
And there comes the downfall.
I have actually seen the reverse of this. Back in the IPC days, after so many tournaments and series that have happened, every time you'd see a few players who would come to you and they'd be like, "Yaar, mere saath kitna bad luck ho raha hai." You know, I'm just like losing. I'm like, bro, one tournament it happens, two tournament it happens, 1-2 series also it happens, it's fine. But after the 10th series, you can't be saying the same thing over and over. There's something there. You need to analyze yourself.
Also, the tournament variance is huge.
Yeah.
Especially the live tournament. Like, you're probably playing 12 tournaments a year live in India.
Right.
And it's just not profitable anymore.
True. It was a lot more back then, but we know what happened because of that. So yeah, fair enough.
We have Kunal Patni who joined us on the stream.
Kunal Patni!
What's up?
You're in India! You might not be, but if you are, thank you for joining in. So cool. Alright. Why have I pinned this?
You pinned this for some reason.
Okay, there we go. Alright, Mayank Jaggi, another hard would have come. Yes, we just spoke about this, Mayank. It was there again. We know. A lot of players who are coming back again. JD Bhaiya, welcome. Avinash Tauro, welcome.
JD Bhaiya keeps coming back just so that we say...
He's making plenty of money, JD is. Just a way to... Oh wait, he's supposed to join us here in Bombay for a drink. Are you already in your car and on your way here?
Look at that, Samoh's lost weight. Come on, come on. Seriously, bro. Seriously.
It's black, my friend. We're all wearing black for a reason. You realize Karthik Ved is like probably not even like a fifth of our size.
Yeah.
But he's also wearing black. So we're looking really bad here with all the black that's going on. Anyway, thank you so much, Kunal. Thank you for joining. Hope you're having fun. And yes, guys, if you have any questions, comments that you want to share with us, please log on to the live Facebook stream that we've got going.
If you have any questions about hands, you can ask Karthik Ved. Karthik Ved is one of the best cash game players. And
Bahut bade haath hai.
Actually, he's like the cash version of sushi. Give him ace to suitor and he's going bust.
Nice.
Just get it in 500 bigs deep, yo.
Ace 3. Aditya Sushant, you need to tattoo Ace 3 somewhere on your body, man. Just like that.
Not as few as sushi, though.
Let's see, the dissing continues. It just continues. A Wi-Fi enabled charter for JD. Yes, JD, please bring us along for the ride. Welcome. Okay, so coming back to the topic that we were discussing about, what do you feel are, some of the things people need to be totally aware of before they get in? And I'm talking about the young guys, the older guys, whatever. They've been around, they should know better in some cases. But what about young kids? Because I think we all consider ourselves stakeholders of this community in a sense. So you want to see it grow, you want to see it become bigger and better. But we've seen a lot of bad jazz go down over the years. So what are some basic things that people should be aware of, before they decide to get into poker?
One of the main things is that the younger guys need to realize that the game is getting tougher day by day.
Yeah.
It's not getting, even the Indian feels it's overly rated that it's too soft. I don't believe it's that soft. With the stables coming in and a lot of coaching happening by the top regs to every young player, upcoming player, it's going to get tougher and tougher. So you need to keep studying and improving. As being a mind sport, it's always going to evolve and new strategies are going to keep coming in.
Right.
If you realize that, and you need to start practicing and try to be aware about your opponent's tendencies in order to keep up the pace.
So better prep, better education is certainly something that people
definitely
need to do through and through. Besides that, bankroll management is obviously a huge thing. I don't know if anyone can successfully avoid tilt per se.
I think that is the most important thing in today's game. Who tilts less?
Yeah.
To be very honest,
mental.
I remember speaking to Nitin Jain, during the same conversation I had about an open road. And he was saying that, you can go for every spot you can on the table. But the thing is, you should be able to manage those swings. If you're not mentally strong to manage your stack going from up 5 to down 5,
right,
and then, coming back up or whatever, if you can't handle that swing, then you'll not be able to pull that off.
Wise words spoken.
I think a laggy player's biggest strength is his mental game. Right. Not his technical knowledge, yes, that can be taught to people, but mental game is something which you cannot teach someone. Like, if it affects you, it affects you.
Right.
And that is something which you need to take care of.
Well, on that note, we're going to take a short break. The players are also on a break. We'll be right back in a few minutes, so don't go anywhere.
Yeah, let's switch to.
our own network.
Okay.
So the feed will go from our network to the Twitch.
Okay.
Sorry.
The next time you guys should try Twitch.
Yeah, I was just saying that.
Twitch is much better.
Good luck to IBB. Okay, 1 second, wait. Yeah, and his charter. Okay, here we go. Huh?
No,
Game.
face.
Face, whatever, it's fine.
Unless something has happened here. Nothing has happened.
Yeah.
Just let us know when it's live.
We need to do a short.
All right, welcome back to this final segment of the live coverage of the Destiny finale SNG. 10 lakhs going to this tournament's winner, which comprises of a package to Las Vegas with a $10,000 tournament fee and flight tickets as well as hotel rooms for the duration of the stay. It's a fabulous prize for the person who wins it. We are in the final stages of our segment in this coverage that we're going to do. Another 15 minutes or so. We still have Karthik Ved with us, one of the bright talents of the Indian poker industry. And of course, my co-host on this particular broadcast, the poker guys. These are the poker guys. I'm just here. Generally, I know how to spell the word poker, and that's the limit of my abilities. But these are the guys who have the knowledge, who have the experience. And you have about 15 minutes to send in your comments, send in your questions. Let us know if there's something in particular you want us to speak about, to address. And yes, at the end of the day, we thought, I think this was like a fun little thing that we did. We might do this again for another big tournament, maybe the next Destiny that we do, which is going to be approximately 11 weeks from now, because this is an ongoing series which happens every Wednesday night. We also have a whole lot of specials like cash bombs coming up in the current couple of weeks on Spartan Poker. So please stay tuned, check out the website. A lot of the stuff, the specials that are going on are advertised in the client and on the website. So coming back to the game right now, if we can just switch the screen. We've got not much movement since the break has completed. Although Zulua is now approximately in the 60s, 60,000.
Kind of a big pot. I think Sahil went for thin value on the river and Indiander just raised with air. Yeah.
Wow, there we go.
It was bluff raising, obviously, right? And let's just see the hand once. Yep. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. Open and a call. Flop is 966. It goes check call. Turn is a 3. Goes check, check. River is a 4. It goes check. And Sahil bets very small. And
That's about half the pot.
Indiander raise, obviously bluffing in the spot.
Yeah.
Is he trying to make Sahil fold? What is he trying to make Sahil fold?
Is this trying to make Sahil? I think he's just
Fold
trying to
an
make.
overpair?
Yeah, obviously, and it looks so because it goes check check on the flop, check check on the turn, and Sahil decides to bet the river.
No, he gets check bet call on the flop.
Okay, sorry, check bet call, my bad. And turn goes a check, turn goes check check. So he's probably trying to get him to fold a lot of his thin value bets.
Correct. So I figured that. So basically, he's probably trying to make him fold like, I don't know, 8s.
Yeah, 7s, 8s.
7s, 8s.
7s, 8s. Like 5, 7s, 8s.
5, 7s, 8s, I guess.
No, he blocks
a 5, so
yeah.
7s and 8s.
7s, 8s, yeah.
And probably a 9, like, 9, 10, Jack 9 kind of hand, probably.
Yes. Well, I mean, probably where Sahil can find a fold because also
because he knows, like, I think he knows.
And I'm sure the meta game has been going on.
Absolutely, yeah. And I guess Sahil definitely decides to call off and, he's
All right, more people joining us. What took you so long? We are in the last 15 minutes of this particular live broadcast, but welcome, and we hope the people who've stayed on are having some fun. Sandeep Narayanan, welcome. So, hello to Manmohan Singh. Jashank, Yuvraj Chaudhary gives a shout out to IPP Euphoria Sickos. One of you guys should ship this, he says. Siddharth Singhvi.
Peter Parker.
Peter Punter.
Punter.
Peter Punter. For the longest time, Siddharth Singhvi, a lot of people mistook me for playing that particular ID. I was like, no.
Peter Punter for Peter for a minute.
There was no way. There was absolutely no way. Vivek Rugani says, OMG, Drama Queen is there. Who's Drama Queen?
Because
He's not possibly alluding to you, man. Come on. This face, look at this face. It's not that one of a Drama Queen. Come on. Satish Singh, hey man. Satish, thank you for joining in. Akshay Jain also has come on board. Saurav Agarwal, hello everyone who are here joining us in the last 15 minutes of this broadcast. So, coming back to some more strategic stuff, if I can call it that. We talked about beginners having to keep an eye out for a few, red flags, so to speak, when they are starting off their careers in poker. I'm sure because we've all seen the darker side of things that there are those warnings that we want to put out there. Yeah. But let's flip it around for a second. I want to end on a nice, happy note. What if someone is in the right space, mentally, physically, bankroll-wise, not a heavy bankroll, but decent enough for them to take a punt at playing an international series. You guys have traveled outside India.
Yes.
What would you guys recommend as the first international trip any player should take up when they choose to decide to head outside of India to play tournaments? As it is, we don't have too many tournaments happening any which way.
NPC
The Macau Poker Cup.
And now also
Manila is still, I think the numbers are a little low. NPC is, I think, insane value.
Who was in Manila this time? I heard the numbers were really poor.
Yes, it was very bad this time. But I think NPC in general will give you the best value.
it's soft too, and NPC is soft too.
Okay.
You just have to be careful about your expenses though.
Yeah, because
Macau is a really expensive city.
I think you should just chop hotel rooms and...
or you can even try out...
what about some tips for people who are traveling to Macau? If we've now said that is the first destination.
Book well in advance, that would be one.
Okay.
So you get the flights much cheaper.
Yeah.
You can try out Airbnb instead of hotels.
Yeah, I mean,
those end up being cheaper as well.
If you're chopping with a friend of yours, then I think you'll get a room for about 5k a night, which is again a lot.
Yeah.
But still it is
5k Indian folks, 5,000 rupees. By the way, that needs to be clarified because your average room rate in Macau tends to be about 12 to 15,000 rupees.
Yeah.
They do have really nice rooms in the bigger hotels that charge that kind of money.
I think there are pretty much only 5 stars in Macau, right?
Yeah,
pretty much
they've got
only,
every place has got its own casino inbuilt and their card rooms and everything. They have got some fine properties there, but it's not easy on the pocket for a lot of players who are deciding to go there for the first time. So yes, book in advance.
Definitely.
Try and get Airbnb as one of your stay options if you possibly can. Any other tips that you would like to share?
You can just ask Dhaval or KP, Kunal Patni, for any help.
Yes.
They translate with
The
it.
poker world travelers, very, very seasoned guys who have been to the Asian region and the circuits there a number of times. They are very, very nice gentlemen who would be happy to talk to you about their own experiences and give you a tip or two besides the ones that these guys here have shared. We've got a question from... Hello, Rajkumar. Thank you for joining in. Jayant has a question. Can we know the worst beat you've delivered? Did we have a hand here which went
Can we
down?
switch to the...
We'll come back to Jayant's query, but we're going to take a look at the hand that just went down.
It's a huge pot. It's about 1 lakh plus pot. Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Alright, so... I think it goes limp. Okay. What do you think about this limp, Karthik?
I haven't played much with Amul Beto, but it's usually the hands they are not comfortable playing post-flop. Or they don't want to play, because obviously if you realize that this guy is an architect, Nishant and Sal would probably be 3-betting them a lot, and even Indian Doe with a short stack. So hands they would probably want to just play post-flop just to see the flop, and that's what they limp. But I don't know who that is though, so I wouldn't want to judge.
Okay.
But in vacuum, that's what happens.
And what do you make of this sizing when he makes it just 3x?
Definitely value.
Yeah, definitely value for sure. But I would like to just size it slightly bigger because Amul Bhatt is really deep. Like,
Definitely.
Yeah, wouldn't you want to just get rid of a couple of people there?
Yeah,
And also,
probably make it 4x.
and this deep, he's more likely to limp call always
Limp
than
call
limp fold. They never limp
yes,
folding.
Yes.
So even you can even go 5x if you want to.
Of course,
He's always getting called.
And it gets cold call here.
That's the disadvantage of a 3x because
Correct. If you make it 4x, he'll probably fold.
Nishant, I know Nishant pretty well, and he likes to see a lot of flops.
Flops, yeah, correct.
So he's always going to defend that.
And the flop is king, queen, 7, 2 hearts.
It's an action flop.
Check, yes. The turn is a 7 and Nishant leads for like 1/3 pot, almost.
1/3, yeah.
And he goes call and he makes it 15k. Nishant calls, Samoh better folds. The river is an offsuit 8. Nishant checks and Zulova just overbet shoves.
That's almost pot size.
Yeah.
That's
So he was already had.
Yeah.
Now, I think we know that he had king 8 of hearts, but I think it's a kind of a 6 spot with king 8 of hearts too, because
also, okay, when Nishant bets the turn, it's not always value.
Correct.
When the flop goes check on king 7, queen 2 hearts, that's a pretty action flop.
Correct.
And especially when Zulova being the
pre-flop opener,
and when he checks that flop, his range is pretty much capped to probably underpairs.
Jacks, 10s,
Ace jack,
10,
ace 10,
a 7, a queen. Ace queen 7, probably checks.
Yeah, ace queen checks too.
Yeah.
And he's probably exploiting that range.
Yeah, correct.
That's his bet on the turn.
So no, but then once you get raised on the turn, how does your range analysis of your opponent change? So basically, when I lead this turn, I'm thinking that when the flop goes check, it's very difficult for them to have a 7 because they actually came in from early position, and the flop goes check around and he's blocking tops and these guys are never gonna check sets on this board because it is too dry.
Yeah.
So basically, once he leads and he gets raised. So the problem with when you analyze this range, I think is that all flush draws bet the flop, all gutters, all kind of
open-enders
bet the flop, and once you get raised on that turn, it's pretty much almost always value. Do you think so?
It's always value because you also need to realize the stack size.
Correct.
So if you decide to call the turn, you need to be sure that am I going to call that shove on the river?
Right.
You need to on what cards am I calling, what cards am I folding?
Correct.
And am I drawing dead already? By any chance, like except for a king.
Yeah, correct.
Maybe that could be drawing dead too.
I have a question here. So, would you, if you were in Nishant's pot and if you had sized it, say 1/3 pot, and if he gets called, so would you actually give him credit for? So, in this pot, let's forget about the range, the actual range he's actually portraying. In India, I think a lot of players don't really, range players correctly. So there are a lot of spots, even when you play cash games, you say, for example, I'm just giving you a random example. You open 2,500 with Queen Jack, goes call, and there's 10k in the pot. Flop comes, say, Ace 9-3 rainbow. Check. You check back. The turn comes in offsuit 6, and check. One guy just leads like 3k into a 10k pot. You pretty much almost always raise it because he will never have a value hand in the spot. Yeah. Although your range is so not hitting. I mean, on the turn, what are you repping? Like 6s?
But they're not thinking that.
Absolutely,
They're not thinking that, so you exploit it.
So absolutely. So you can play exploitatively. So in this spot, do you think Nishant would have thought of it in that way?
No, I think he still has the thing is what the hand that he had was a pretty tricky hand to play too because he still has a top pair he's blocking the top pair with a flush draw, with a redraw. But just that, if you look at the other dynamic of the table, also realizing that the winner is going to take home 10 lakhs. In that dynamic too, and people are going to be less spewy than they actually are on this table. Because the first place is 10 lakhs and a trip to Vegas, which is any poker player's dream, especially if you're sponsored.
A lot at stake there.
So, in this scenario, I don't think that Zulova is ever going to be bluffing or has a weaker range.
True.
So, in looking at that, I would let it go on the turn. Because I need to know I'm out of position.
You could be dead.
No, I'm out of position too. I could be dead.
Yeah.
Just in case he decided to check back a hand like queens or kings.
Yeah, correct.
Or something like ace king of hearts, for example. If you try to do
the
ace king of hearts bets though.
So I think what happened in this hand was that Nishant was not able to actually define a range for him.
No, I am sure that he must have defined his range for him.
No, I mean, as in what value hand can he have in this spot? Pretty much nothing.
Never. But exactly. The other hands like 7x.
Yeah.
Can all like a hand like ace 7 suited opens, 7-8 suited opens, 6-7 suited will open. Which I believe.
Okay.
which
Yeah.
I believe would open.
Of course. And then River, I guess, this is a cruel
Yeah, this is a
River, I
cruel
think.
one,
Just,
yeah.
it just makes it easier for him to call, I guess.
But should have folded too,
I think
knowing that he would have to call the river.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, there goes that hand. Anyway,
Anyways.
getting back to the game itself, I think we've had a lot of. I am looking and feeling a lot more stupider as this broadcast goes on with all the strategic talk that's coming out of my ears. I want to say thank you to Karthik Vaid. Thank you so much for coming up and spending time with us,
Thank you
for
very much.
sharing your expertise. We hope to see you again soon. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
See you.
Good luck.
Someone wants to know the worst beat you have delivered on someone. Oh, God, I don't even
Have you
know.
seen our size? We deliver beats every day of the week.
I don't even know. I mean, I've delivered multiple beats on multiple people. I think the biggest beat is when you are closest to the I don't know, money in tournaments. You know.
Yeah. That hurts even more for
Yeah.
sure.
So I don't remember. I don't really remember the kind of. They say you only remember the beats you've taken and not given, right?
Right.
So I don't really remember the beats I've given. I don't know. There are too many, like, you know, to actually remember, I guess.
All right. Sameer had a question for Karthik, saying how he has managed to stay so thin being an online player. Good question. We'll ask Karthik that when we meet him a little later. Mukesh Jetwani, welcome to the broadcast. Vatsal and Mega also. Thanks, guys, for joining us. We are presently in level 14 with 600, 1200 when the ante is 150. At this point in time, we're looking at Amul Better, who's pretty much got a stack of a little over 300,000. And the short stack at this table right now is Indian Durr with just over 40,000 behind him. We are coming to the end of this particular live broadcast here at the Destiny Finale SNG. This tournament is going to go on for probably another 3 to 4 hours. The whole idea behind this was to have a little bit of fun, to get you all to know these players who are taking part, many of whom are well-known quantities in the Indian online space. As far as the package that they win is concerned, it will take them to Las Vegas to take part in the big tournament that everyone wants to play in. So there's that. There is the flight tickets that you get as well as a hotel stay. Besides this, there's a whole bunch of things that are happening at thespartanpoker.com. Get onto their website and check out the tournament schedules that take place. If you love tournaments the way I do, the way Samoh does, we love tournaments with capital LOVE. He does well in them. I am not so much. I'm a small ball player, but I enjoy playing tournaments. And if you are a tournament lover, you want to play at thespartanpoker.com because there's a whole bunch of tournaments that's available at every appetite, at every level that you want to play at. We've also got some fantastic cash game promotions that are going on, including the Playmax, which is in fact happening right now over the course of the next week or so, and the cash bombs, which of course give you a whole bunch of money from
It just drops from the sky.
yeah, it just drops. Money is dropping from the sky. So thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure, Samoh.
It's been a pleasure, yes.
And we've had a lot of fun. Please join us the next time we do this and keep your comments coming. We will try and get a recording of this up on our website as well as on our YouTube channel for those of you who are not able to see this. Be kind, send us lots of likes, send us suggestions about how we can do things better the next time around. We've had a whole lot of fun, Samoh. I think it's been fun with the guests. I'd like to thank our guests, Shravan Chabria, Anup Palod, Karthik Vaid, Abhinav Iyer, who've been kind enough to take out time and join us on this broadcast. We will see you on the other side.
Yeah, goodbye.